Hey YouTubers, it's Jen, and today's video is going to be on using PowerPoint for your design projects or your construction projects. Maybe you need a presentation to show a client, or you're a homeowner or a student and you want to design something. This is for you, especially if you're not too comfortable in the AutoCAD or the 2D or 3D space. Although I am working to bring you videos that will help you out with that, and they'll be super easy, okay? So what we're going to be doing is using PowerPoint, and we are going to draw a TV wall that has a Besta TV unit hung on it. So if you're not familiar with Besta, IKEA Besta, go to the IKEA page, type in Besta combination, and you're going to see a bunch of different Bestas. So Bestas come in different sizes, the different box colors, different door colors, different door styles. You can get glass doors, shiny doors, texture doors, all kinds of doors. So it's a very flexible system. It's got a clean, modern look, and it will give you a really cool looking vibe, and very inexpensive. So we're going to be doing something similar to this but hung on the wall, but ours is going to look a lot better. Okay, so go to the PowerPoint, get yourself a clean page, and go to Insert. Now, I avoided PowerPoint for a long time, but it really is easy, so don't be intimidated. Just go to Insert, go to Shapes, click on Rectangle, and if you already know how to use PowerPoint, that's awesome. Left click and drag it, let it go, and you have a big ugly blue box. So let's right click it, let's go to Fill, let's tone it down a little. We're just give it a little bit of a more neutral tone. So I still don't like this line that's around it. If it doesn't bother you, that's fine. But I am going to right click, go to Outline, and say No Outline. Okay. I don't know why they automatically give an outline. That makes no sense to me. Anyway, this is our wall, but we're not worried about the scale of this. This actually isn't going to be to scale. There are some tricks I can teach you to make it close to scale. So that's what we'll do. It'll be scale-ish, okay? So let's go back to our IKEA website. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to cut and paste the doors from the Bestas onto the PowerPoint. Now these are all at an angle, so that doesn't help us out. So let's go to Besta doors, because remember I said these are all sold separately, the doors and the frames and the hinges actually, and everything, the legs, it's all separate. So here's all your different door styles, and what we're going to be using is we're going to use the black brown combination of black brown, and we're going to use a glass door, and just for fun we'll try a concrete looking door. So go to the basic door here, click on it. Now we need the smaller size. These come in different sizes. The TV unit, the media cabinet is the 15-inch one. Doesn't mean you can't use the bigger one, but the media cabinet has cutouts for your wires, whereas the bigger ones don't. So you'd have to drill holes or figure out something for your wire management. The other thing is these Bestas do have glass tops that you can buy to put on top of them, and the media cabinet glass has the little cutout already there, and the regular size Besta, the bigger one, doesn't. So let's go with the 15-inch Besta. Okay, and we're going to pick the black brown, and now we're going to use the snipping tool. Okay, So if you don't know what the snipping tool is, it's probably been in your computer your whole life and you didn't know it. So just go to the search, type snip, and you'll get the snipping tool. And if you're on Apple, you need to download a separate app. So now you have your snipping tool here. This tool is going to change your life. So click New. Fades out, that means you're ready to go. Left click, drag it, and let's capture the door. Right click it, copy it, go back to your PowerPoint, and drop that door in there. Okay, so let's scale it down. We're not quite ready to actually scale this yet. What we do next is go back and do the same thing, go through and pick out all the doors that you want to use and bring them on over. So to save time, I already did that and I cut and pasted them here. So you can bring over, cut and paste your doors and bring them on over. If you hold the shift key down and you tap on each one, normally the inclination would be to right click, but that doesn't work in this case. You just press Control C. Then you go back to the page that you're working on and you Control V and tap, and they're separate now. Okay, so now we have all the doors that we're working with. Okay, and this is where we're going to learn to scale this thing. Okay, so we know that the height of this is 25 inches. It's like 25 1/4 or something. And let's say we want our wall to be 10 feet tall. So here we go, Control C, Control V. So that's 50 inches, 75 inches, 100 inches, 125 inches. So if we're shooting for 10 feet, we're too tall. So we know to bring this down. And there we go. Okay. Now, as far as the width goes, you can mess around with that. You can get it however you want it, but I'm just going to make it a little bit skinnier. But you understand, you could do the same thing. Line those doors up, and they're 23 inches wide, I think, and that will tell you what you need to know. Okay, so now let's scale this down a little bit to... This is going to be the 15-inch media portion of it, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to cut and paste. Sorry, I was getting a text message. We're going to cut and paste and start building our unit across the bottom. And we can cut and paste it across. So, and incidentally, these do come in sets of 2, the door frames, so you could get them singly or in sets of 2. So if it works out that, let's say you only needed, 4 door fronts, then that's perfect. But if you need 5 or you need 7, maybe not. So this is 3 of those double door units. And if we want to, we can even go to Insert, go to Shapes, get Rectangle, and let's draw our baseboard. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And let's fill it with a baseboard color, which would be white. And we'll give it an outline of like a light gray. Okay, so there's our baseboard. And I can see that this probably needs to come down a little bit. So instead of dragging each one of these down, just hold the shift, click, 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 click. Now left click and bring them down. Okay, so they'll all move together and then they'll just go back to being separate in a second. So tap out and they're separate again. So now let's build our design, and this is the fun part. This is where you can play around with it. So first what we need to do is we need to go grab a TV off of the internet. So just type in flat screen TV and go to images and grab yourself a TV. So again, we go to our snipping tool, go to new, grab the TV, and I don't know about you, but I kind of feel like the TV should be just a blank screen, because if you start bringing in colors, it's going to mess up your, it's going to interfere with it's going to be distracting, okay? So let's right click, paste it. Now we see it needs to be cropped a little better, and it needs to shrink down. So let's right click it, we'll crop it, and we can crop it like this. Okay, let's crop out that stand, and let's pull it in a little bit. Let's see what we got. Oh, missed that piece there. So right click it, crop it, boom. Okay, now let's make this a little smaller. So you can look up the actual dimensions of the TV. You know, a 70-inch TV doesn't mean it's 70 inches wide. It's different. So if we know these boxes are 23 wide, and let's say it's a 60-inch TV, then it's probably, I don't know, 48 wide. So we're about right. So let's just pop it in there. Okay, so now we are going to do the fun part, which is the design. So let's bring this over here. We can so these are floating on the wall, so we have a lot of freedom. So let's do a glass door there, and let's do a concrete door here. And that actually looks like it could be a little bit bigger. Okay. Concrete door. And just mess around with it. Okay. And let's do another, let's control copy, control paste. Let's do another glass door up here. And we can also do some of these shorties up here. So let's control copy and control paste here. And let's do another one. And another one. Okay. So now we have now that looks cool, but let's say, we really want to build something more substantial. We can I don't like the idea of leaving just one concrete door, so let's give it another concrete door. And do we need another glass door? That looks too heavy. So yeah, let's delete that glass door. Okay, so this is good. And and these come as the 15-inch ones. You could do shelving there, right? Because they can be solid doors, or they can be open shelves. So what you can do to just kind of simulate the open shelf, you can either try to find one on the internet and capture it, or you could grab a shape here, and you could make a rectangle and you could just fill that with a lighter color, maybe like that, to show that that's a shelf. And let's get rid of the outline. Okay, so now that's an open shelf, and maybe you need two, right? So here, these are both like bookshelves. I'm not a big fan of knickknacks, but sometimes people like to have places to put their stuff. So this looks a little wonky here. All right, so let's get, what else do we need? Okay, so let's get a few accessories for our shelves. And a good place for that is not TVs. Go to CB2 and you can grab some, they have some good accessories that are modern. So let's snip ourselves. Let's just go for these two. Let's right click it, copy, go over back to PowerPoint, paste it. Now we need to get rid of this background, right? So highlight it where it says format, go to remove background. Okay, now it's asking you where do you want to remove it. So let's drag this out, and everything that's purple is going to disappear and everything that's white is going to stay. So click keep changes, and we scale it down to what we want. Okay, so I can put it here, we can put it here. Let's just, for now, let's put it here. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Make it look like it sit there. Okay. Now, I don't know, maybe we need something else, like picture frames. Okay, so let's click that. Let's grab it. Right click, copy, come over, right click it, go to format, remove background, drag it out. Now this is going to be a little trickier because it's struggling to see, it's getting confused as to what we want it to keep and what we don't. Okay, you see it's leaving out this part, it's confused on this part. So what you can do is you can go to mark areas to keep, and you can just kind of draw a line on it, and it picked it up. Okay, that was the little stand that holds that up. So we're going to keep the changes, and now we have our picture frames. Let's shrink it down, way down, and maybe the picture frames are for this box, maybe. I don't know. So now you can grab as many accessories as you want. There's tons and tons and tons. You can go anywhere, anything that's your favorite. I was going to try to get some bookends, but anyway, moving right along. All right, so now we have that. Let's get rid of all these doors so we don't need them. Now, I'm kind of feeling like I'm liking this, but I'm feeling like there should be something here. So what we can do is we can add a pendant light. So I like to go to allmodern.com because they have good clean pictures and they have some nice lighting. And let's pick this Kellet light here. Let's grab it with our snipping tool, new, grab this. This should come, well, it might not come so clean because of these lines, but we'll see. So let's right click it, copy it, go back to PowerPoint, right click it, paste it. Okay, now let's go to Format, remove background, pull this down, pull this up, save the changes. Okay, now try your best, if this is really for a client, to scale it to the right scale. You know, because you don't want them to think they're getting a giant light if it's only, you know, 8-inch diameter. Now, if we want, we can do Control Copy, Control Paste, and maybe there's 2 lights. And maybe what we want to do is get rid of this, so we just click on it. We're going to crop the picture, and we're going to we're going to crop it and get rid of that. And if you want to, you can go to Insert, Shapes, Line, and you can draw yourself a little line if you want to be technical, and you can change the color of that line by going to Outline, and you can press, you know, a color. So you could even copy and paste this piece and put it there just to be, you know, technically correct. Let's do it. Oh, come on. Copy, paste it. Okay, now we'll crop it. Boom. All right, so now we have our 2 pendant lights, and it's okay if it's up here because this is a ceiling, right? Okay, so it looks pretty good, but let's say you want to give your client some options. Okay, so go over here and click on this. Press Control C and Control V, and you get a copy of it, right? So let's say, you know, this client is just not going to be happy with just one option. So you can go in here and you can change the configuration, and you can even, let's change the wall color. Like, let's say you know that they're working with, you've already had the house painted, you already know what the color is. So let's say you know that it's Sherwin-Williams, whatever, tan. Okay, get your images, click on the color. This is Canvas Tan by Sherwin-Williams. We are going to get our snipping tool. We're going to bring it in, right click it, bring it on over, right click. Okay, now what we're going to do with this is we're going to go to this box. We're going to go to the Format. Actually, just right click it, go to the Fill. Okay, now you have all your color choices. Go to the eyedropper, click the Sherwin-Williams color, and boom. Now you have your accurate color that you're working with. Okay, now we can do the same thing if Control, okay, let's go over here and make another copy of this. Control C, Control V. Now let's say you just know that they're gonna want like something more, you know, more texture in here. You can actually put some wallpaper back there the same way. So let's go to Tom Felicia wallpaper. That's just a random thing I picked. Okay, let's say you're looking at this and you're like, this could be good. Don't worry about the color because you can change the color. You can play around with it and see if you like it. But anyway, so we're going to pick this. This doesn't always work great with big patterns because it's very hard to get the pattern to look right. And you also have to explain to the client that this isn't, it's just a representation. So right click it, copy it, go back to your PowerPoint. Okay, now just leave this here for now. Right click it, paste it. Now it's way too big, so we need to bring it down. Like, you know, rolls of wallpaper 36 wide, right? So this is 23, so that's about right. I mean, the scale probably needs to be smushed in a little bit. So what we'll do is we're going to Control Copy, Control V, Control V, Control V, and we're going to crop this one so it fits with the size of the room. And instead of clicking and clicking until we get carpal syndrome, what we can do is we can hold Shift down, click, 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 right click. Oh no, wait, bad. Start over. Click, Shift, click it, Control C, Control V. Now you can move this whole thing here, right? Control V, move the whole thing. Okay. And what we can do is, because now we don't want to have to come back and redo all this and bring it on top of the wallpaper, what we can do is we can right click this and we can say send it to the back. Okay, whoops, it disappeared. No, it didn't. Click on the regular wall, delete it, and there it is. Okay. So now if you shift, anytime you shift, you can keep them as a group. You can do this. And you just continue on down the road. Now, what if you're saying, well, that's a little dark. I like the texture, but it's a little dark. What you can do is you can go right click it, well, highlight it, go to Format, go to Color, and let's change, you can change it to whatever color you want. So you could be green, blue, like less blue. We could do a gray. Let's do gray. So now we can go in here and we can change every single one of these, which seems like a lot of work. Anyway, you get the idea. So you pull that all together. So I paused the video and I went and finished out that wallpaper and I added a few accessories. Got some plants here, little doodads and this and that. So now what I notice is, you know, when we had this color, this was fine, but now I think I need a stronger wire there. So we'll go to Shapes, we'll go to the wire tool, the line tool, I mean, and just draw a line. We could make it a little bit smaller. And let's right click it, go to outline and pick like a little bit darker so that it stands out just a little bit. Oh, it's still blue. What happened? Outline. Let's go to black. Okay. Now Control C, Control V. Put that there. There. Okay. Now, okay, so now what you might want to do just to look a little more professional, insert shapes, go to rectangle, and cover the whole thing up. No, I'm just kidding. Right click this, go to fill, say no fill, go to outline, let's say black. You want to make your outline a little bit bolder, you can. Click whatever you want. Alright, so now you have your little box here. bring it down like this, and you can go to insert text box. You can say over here, you can say, I don't know, whatever you want. Murphy, living room, TV wall. Stretch it out if you need to stretch it out. You can change the fonts. You can put your information here. That's always a good thing to do. You could even run it this way if you wanted to. You could drop a logo in there. You can insert anything. You can insert a picture, your business card, whatever you need to do. Now, if you need to send this to your client in the mail, let's say they live in Iceland and you need to send it to them, you go to File, you go to Export, and you go to Create PDF, and then you will get a PDF. So yeah, so that's it. And like I said, maybe next time we'll do a kitchen. That might be kind of cool. All right, thanks for listening. Please like my channel. Please like this video, subscribe. I need followers. See you next time. Thanks.